Hi everybody, today we're going to be making butter chicken curry. And it's one of my personal favorites and I'm excited. And so I've already started the dish off. You start with a stick of butter, half a cup, and you melt that over a medium heat. And you put like 1 or 2 onions in the pot depending on how much you like onions. And let that cook for 5 to 7 minutes. And then you're ready to prepare the chicken. And I've previously defrosted and cut some chicken up right here. It's just 1 chicken breast. And the easiest way for me to cut chicken is to use kitchen shears, like scissors. And it does a really good job. And so 1 chicken breast, take 2/3 of a cup of plain yogurt. It's important that it's plain and not vanilla. It'll really change the flavor if you use vanilla instead of plain. And so you add that. Then you add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Add 1 teaspoon of chopped ginger. Gotta use fresh. So I'll go ahead and put that in. 1 teaspoon of ginger. And then these are the spices we're going to use. Well, there's 5 different spices, and it can get a little bit pricey if you don't have any of them, which you may not, because Indian spices, you don't use them every day. And so the most important one is garam masala, which actually includes most of the spices that we use here. It's a combination of coriander, black pepper, cumin, cardamom, and cinnamon. And so the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of garam masala. And this is a half teaspoon, that's why I'm putting 4 in. And then calls for 3 cardamom seeds, but I just have ground cardamom. And so I'm going to put like 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then it calls for ground coriander. And that's 1 teaspoon. And then 1 teaspoon of chili powder. And then 1 teaspoon of cumin. And cumin is a spice which is used quite often in a lot of Mexican cooking, and so it has kind of that Mexican food smell to it. And so now we've combined everything, and you just give it a really good stir. And so you just mix everything up, make sure that all of the spices are really well integrated, and you'll be able to tell when it's mixed properly because the tomato paste will have blended. You won't see any chunks of red, and it'll look like a really nice light brownish color like that. And so now this is ready to cook, and we're going to add this to the onion and butter and cook that for like 5 to 7 minutes also. And I like to use a spatula when I'm cooking curries, because when you mix the spices up in a bowl and you pour the chicken up, you can see there's a lot left over there, and that's a lot of good flavor in the bowl. And so I'm going to take that with the spatula, I'm going to take that all out. And once you have everything removed and added to the pot, you're going to cook in just kind of semicircular movements until the chicken is completely finished. And so it looks like I've cleaned my bowl out pretty good. And you're going to cook this for 5 to 7 minutes, or just until it's pink or white all the way through. Don't want it to be pink. And just make sure the chicken is cooked all the way through. And we're going to come back to it in 5 to 7 minutes, and we're going to add some water and some other good stuff to it. So we'll come back to it in a couple minutes.